Jaron Boots Ennis requests IBF to order Errol Spence Jr. fight after Crawford ducks.
Hold up. Give the brother a chance to drop science.
Right on.
Alright, y'all. So, Terence Crawford has started an avalanche of things to happen in the welterweight division of boxing.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Number one, he took a fight with a relative unknown, David Avanesyan. You know, a lot of people have a problem with this fight based off the fact that it's not really Avanesyan's record that people have a problem with. It's the competition level. It's that people never really saw this guy fight, whether he has a ton of fights on his record or not. People just don't know him. And the fact that Terence Crawford was calling for the Spence fight for so long, you had something offered to you. You put out some lies through social media.
You're going to do this, man, because I'll give you a paycheck, man. You will be a rump shaker.
And other YouTube boxing channels. And now it's like you all this time have been negotiating behind the scenes with David Avanesyan for a fight that really means nothing at the end of the day. It's just another title defense. So I definitely feel like that started a wave or an avalanche in the welterweight boxing division of mandatories. You know, I've always said that Errol Spence Jr. was going to have a problem when it comes to facing up with his mandatories because he has so many of them. The only negative that comes along with carrying all those belts is you're also carrying a bunch of mandatory fighters standing behind you. Guys that want their shot, guys that are up and coming, and guys that maybe could challenge you in a boxing ring. Now, let's not pretend like Terence Crawford doesn't have mandatories as well. He does. How he wiggled his way out of fighting one of his number one or number two mandatories is concerning, and how he ended up fighting the number 6 guy in the WBA is concerning, but it is what it is at this point.
He bad in Sugar Ray. He bad in that. Who that? The new boy. He whip all that.
Now you have Jaron Boots Ennis coming out and saying that he's petitioning the IBF in request of an Errol Spence Jr. fight. Here's one thing that I know. If Errol Spence Jr. turns this fight down, if he doesn't take it, the IBF has the power to strip him of the title.
What's next for me? I'm not too sure yet. You know, we waiting for waiting to talk to, our team and stuff like that, Mr. Espinoza, and see what's going on. Nah, I told him it's time to go fishing. I'm really man. I call out Bud too all the time. I call Bud, Bud, Spence, Keith Thurman. I call out everybody. I ranked number 1 in the IBF, so I called out Bud. I called out Errol Spence, and he right there. He was right there in front of me.
Or Errol Spence Jr. can relinquish the title in preparation for moving up to 154. And, I think it's crazy. I'm not mad at Boots for going after his opportunity. If they would have solved the Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. fight, I think Boots would have been next in line anyway. If Errol Spence didn't immediately make a jump up to 154, if he beat Crawford. I think that Boots has started something that didn't need to be started so quickly. I wish we would have had time for Errol Spence to work out whatever he's going to work out. But I understand why Boots is doing it. Boots is doing it because Errol Spence could take another fight like a Stannionis or Keith Thurman or a Pacquiao fight, and then Boots can get left in the background once again. Errol Spence hasn't defended his championships in almost 4 or 5 years. So, he needs a mandatory defense. I don't blame Boots for that part of it. This all could have been solved with Terence Crawford just being a stand-up guy and giving boxing fans what they want.
I put on this show, but inside, man, lots of time I be crying.
Here's the problem with this. At the end of the day, Terence Crawford could actually win in this situation. And this is why. If Errol Spence does decide to move up, all those belts get vacated. Terence Crawford goes and fights, this little guy, David Avanesyan, Boots, you know, and somebody else fight it out for the IBF title. You know, whoever else is ranked in the WBA, they fight it out for the WBA title. Whoever else is ranked in the WBC, they fight it out for the WBC title. Crawford could have 3 fights. You know, Boots would be a tough fight. Let's say Virgil got the WB. I think he's number 1 in the WBC. Let's say he got the WBC title, and a random ends up with the WBA super title. Somebody we really don't know. So Terence Crawford could take an easy road fight with another guy we don't know, get the WBA title. He could take a decent fight with Boots. It doesn't have to be this year. It could be a year from now, 2 years from now. And he could possibly fight Virgil Ortiz for the WBC title. So, you know, I won't call that an easy road. At the end of the day, going through Errol Spence Jr. is a much tougher fight than having to go through those guys who have really been untested at this point as welterweight. Taking nothing away from Boots or Virgil, you know, I don't know who's really ranked in the WBA, so I can't say who would end up with that title. But I would say at the end of the day, the IBF would probably go to Boots, and the WBC would most likely go to Virgil. Of course, Terence Crawford's the WBO champion, and the WBA championship would probably end up in the hands of some random guy we know nothing about. And the bad thing about all of that is we could end up in another situation where we have to wait 3, 4, maybe 5 more years to get an undisputed fight, you know, because it was so difficult to get these 2 superstar fighters in the ring together. What makes you think once Boots hits that level, he's not going to want to, you know, get paid like a superstar once he does become a champion? And he might have his own bargaining chips that he wants in every fight. He might become a 2-time champion quicker than Terence Crawford at welterweight. We don't know yet. Once Errol Spence relinquishes those titles, if he does, and moves to 154, it starts a whole nother avalanche after that. Now, Terence Crawford could be the beneficiary of all of that at the end of the day. He could definitely slide in and slide off with all those titles if he's as good as he says he is. But this could possibly take a long time. You know, that's the problem with me. They could have settled the undisputed talk, all the undisputed talk for this generation, if they would have just both compromised on that fight and got it over with. But now we have to drag this thing out based off of the fact if Errol Spence moves up in weight, you have to start all over again. And Terence Crawford only has 1 title, so it benefits him, but he still has to go through all that heavy lifting again, to where he could have just took an Errol Spence fight, and if he was that talented, he would have beat Spence, and all of this stuff would have been settled. You know, it's crazy, man. I'm happy for Boots, you know, potentially getting his shot at the IBF title, but I do think that because of what Terence Crawford started with BLK Prime and the David Avanesyan fight being announced, has just started an avalanche rolling down a hill, and the whole welterweight division is about to get swept away in the avalanche. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, but you're more than likely to get a response on the tube. So holler at me over there if you want a response. And we are...
It's your boy Keys, neighborhood employee. Niggas knew that I was coming with fire. Y'all ain't up to my pie and up under a car. Your head under a tie, it's the S and the I. Player, we supposed to win. I'm in the booth focusing with coke in hand. Dude hate it when they see the chief running in. Ass mouth hurting like his wisdom teeth coming in. Now that's a roundhouse kick. Come round your house, letting rounds out quick. From Newburgh to downtown, it's that Midwest to down south shit. Y'all ain't fucking with. She chillin', saying tryna put the veal on the mouth. What's good? She nothing, saying tryna show his niggas how to round.